Hi everyone, Rach Cox here from TempleSoul. We're at video 9 now, and I just might add that it's the first day of spring, which means it's 5 days to my birthday. And I love my birthday. It's a very important day. So happy first day of spring. It's absolutely stunning here in Melbourne. I've got this beautiful blossom tree just outside my window. It's full of blossom and new growth and bees and there's blue sky. It's just a stunning day. It's gorgeous. And what is beautiful is like that switch out of winter to spring actually does something in your body, like within. It actually makes you feel hopeful, and we're not too far out of lockdown, and we'll be able to go out and enjoy the sunshine soon with 5 people instead of just by ourselves, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, just in short, I thought I'd do a quick recap of what's happening, why I've started this channel. I've been on my own spiritual journey, well, for forever, for lifetimes, but I've been only aware of it in this lifetime since 2012. So I wanted to share with you some of the things I've learned, some things that I practice to help me attain peace or find peace. I talk about the Ascended Masters a lot, and by Ascended Masters, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, they're all Ascended Masters. But it was their ability to attain that peace while the, hurricane of life raged around and could maintain that peace because they had such an amazing sense of knowing that whatever happened around them, they knew that it was happening for their own good. And they could stay grounded and knowing, just so wise. And that's what we aspire to do, I guess, as light workers. And also as light workers, if you think about what a light actually does, in the darkness, it brings you light, it illuminates things. So that's what we try to do too. Like there's so much more at play in our universe than just me as this little physical being. I'm so much more than that, and so are you. So I just wanted to start this little series in COVID, our second lockdown in Melbourne, in Victoria, here in Australia, and just help people through because it's not easy. It's really not. So it was just, my way of giving back, and while we haven't got a lot to do, to be able to help you and share my knowledge and wisdom, and hopefully that helps. So yeah, I'm Rachel Cox. I run a energy healing practice called TempleSoul. I've moved around a lot, but right now I'm in Melbourne. So I've just moved into a beautiful new home, and I've just spent the whole of lockdown with a paintbrush in my hand, and I've painted every wall that I can now, and so now I'm onto the canvas. But this space is looking really beautiful. Just beyond me here, I've got all the yoga set up. So I am looking for a yoga teacher too in Melbourne. So if there's anyone who wants to come and work with me in this space, it would be great. You can just message me. I have the link down below. So yeah, basically I'm an energy healer. I've trained through the ASHATI, International Institute of Energy Healing. I'm in the ascension stage now. So I've just done a very big activation. I've finished my 21 days. I thought, right, September, I'm just going to give myself a break, and I'm just going to meditate every day and just sort of really integrate that energy. Although today is September 1st, and I do have my Kundalini coach, which I'm very excited about, at 3:15. That's always a massive, big moment. I love it. Usually lots of tears, cleansing tears, getting it all out. So in short, basically energy healing is releasing and integrating. It does a lot more than that, but the crux of it is we release the negative energy, that which no longer serves us, and help to integrate, what you're ready to receive. And the reason we have to let go of things is to create the space inside for that new energy to come in. Those of you following my journey realize that I'm in the throes of a massive Kundalini awakening, which means that I do have to get rid of a lot of things in order for the Kundalini to rise. It's a very powerful energy. So my system has to be ready to receive that. And I would have spent lifetimes, absolute lifetimes, to get me to this moment. So I've chosen to experience what I've experienced in order to grow and in order to tie up loose ends, and be ready for that massive spiritual transformation, which is huge, and not for everyone in a lifetime, but obviously for me in this one. So I offer one-on-one personal healings, and as I've said, during COVID, I'm also available just to have a chat if a healing, if you're not up for that yet, but if you're feeling in a funny place, I'm also here for you for that. So we've talked about energy healing, and as I said, it's great to welcome back some old clients and beautiful to welcome in some new ones. It's been awesome reconnecting, and I just love doing energy healing. We've also talked, about meditation and its benefits. I just can't stress how important it is, and I really hope that you found a method that suits you, a teacher that suits you. You might prefer to do it by yourself. There's no really right or wrong. It's just time for you to sort of really calm your mind, find that peace within. It really helps you to be able to listen to your intuition, and to connect to your source energy. So we've talked about that as well. We've talked a bit about it is what it is. So going through life, perhaps not in terms of good and bad, but just it is what it is. So seeing it as that, to attain a certain level of peace in your life. You got this. Thanks for a reminder the other day. We've talked about God and Goddess energy, masculine and feminine, but the oneness, the collective consciousness. I look like I'm an individual, but I'm actually an individual connected to a higher source, which in turn is connected to everything and everyone. So there is a ripple effect. So whatever I do, whatever energy I'm putting out, is actually going into the field of this collective consciousness, and our world is reflecting back to us what that looks like. So at the moment, not pretty. It's looking a little bit like we're in fear, and because our world is reflecting that back. We're now in the grips of this massive virus. We all have to stay indoors. It's not pleasant, but that's us. That's us creating that. We can't blame one thing on this virus spreading, because as a collective consciousness, I feel that we are emitting a frequency of fear, and that's coming back to us. So we have to, as individuals, each transform our energetic vibration to one of peace and love, so that we can attain peace and love on a global scale. I think we've overcomplicated something that in essence is really quite simple. With religions, it's just an overcomplication. It's just, to attain peace, you have to be peaceful, period. So how do we attain that peace? Well, through these steps. That's all there is to it, really. It's, I have to emulate the vibration of my source energy, which is peace, love, happiness, joy, forgiveness, all the good things. And that's what I'll see in my reflection, reflected back at me in my world. Video 7 I think, was me in all my grief and sadness, and just talking about how necessary it is to honor even that emotion, and how important it is to actually bring it up for healing. So many of us choose not to do that because it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel nice. So instead of saying, actually, this is how I feel today, we just pretend it's not happening. We'll do something to distract us from actually how we're feeling. That's where, all the vices come in, I guess. Just to reach for a bottle or, reach for a person or do whatever to make you feel better. But it's actually not transforming your energy. You're the alchemist. And as I was saying, you're the only one that can transform that energy. Nothing and no one can do that for you, because you have to transform that energy inside for it to change. Now, I will also point out, yes, that I was very sad that day. And if you do have that kind of sadness for a prolonged period of time, then it's really important to seek help. Your doctor, or there's so many fantastic places here and with the internet everywhere, but, Beyond Blue, 1 in 5, there's just so many institutions that you can reach out to that will be there to help you. And also just knowing that you are loved, that there is someone on the other end of that phone that will help you. But you have to be able to say, I'm feeling sad, I need help today. That's a strength, actually. It's not a weakness, it is a strength. Please help me, I'm feeling sad. So thank you again for all your kind messages. I'm feeling much, much better, as you can see. And as I've said, I'm on my own journey. I'm bringing up my own stuff that needs to be healed. And it might come up in the form of sadness or grief or anger or whatever, but we just got to get it up and out, because we do not want those energies suppressing us. We don't want them in there at all. And that leads on to the last video I did, which was The Darkness Visible. Yes, I'm a Mumford & Sons fan. I love them. And it's one of their songs from their latest album. But it's also like you have to get that out. I don't want you to start listening to your body, because it tells us what we need to shift. And that's what I do as a healer. I'm an intuitive healer, so when I do a healing for you, I get a reading from your higher self and I feel the pain in your body and where it's blocked. And then I have to work out why that's where it is. Throat's an obvious one because we speak from the throat. So, if we're suppressing our voice, then chances are, we'll get tonsillitis. And if we get our tonsils out, if we still haven't dealt with a problem, we'll get pharyngitis. We might even get a thyroid issue. It's not rocket science. Louise Hayes got a book, many books, but she started Hay House Publishing. She wrote a book called You Can Heal Your Life, which is beautiful. And it tells you about all those things, what everything means, a sore ear or sore throat or a headache or, anything. But yes, so if the energy piles up inside you, and it could be an emotion, but it could also be actually, something like you're not living your authentic truth. So authenticity and standing in your power, this is related to the solar plexus chakra, which I have been doing an enormous amount of work on, just that chakra, since 2012. And it wasn't until I was speaking to my divine friend Shane, who's helped me through this separation like you would not believe. He's just like a little angel sent from heaven. And I remember talking to him just by the Yarra when I was out for a walk, and he said, so we're talking about Lola, this alter ego I have, but it is part of me as well that I'm trying to integrate and allow to be seen. And funny thing was, when I first saw Shane and I walked up his driveway, Lola by the Kinks was playing as I walked up. And it was just one of those freaky serendipitous moments. But he was telling me about how Lola is standing in her power, just being himself. And standing in your power, he was saying it's not, a space over there that you need to go and stand in. It just means to be yourself, It's all you have to do. Is just be yourself. If something is no longer making you happy, then you have the choice to move away from it. What is it? Follow your bliss. That's what you have to do. It's what Wayne Dyer says, I think. Follow your bliss. What makes you happy? What lights you up? And go and do that. And if it means your whole world has to change, then so be it. That's what you have to do. Because you can't be in something that is no longer fulfilling or that doesn't allow you to express yourself as yourself. It's just your soul yearns. If you suppress that, your soul will react in a way that's it's not okay. You know, you have to be yourself. There's just no other way you can be. That authenticity is really important. And if you're suppressing that, then it could result in, you know, stomach ulcers or something. If you're hiding who you are, you know, with just pretending to be something you're not, it will, you know, you might fool people on the outside, but you will not fool your soul. You cannot fool that. So if that's the case, that's when it starts coming in and your body speaks to you and says you're not doing something that your soul wants you to do, or who you're not being who you truly are. I actually just had the intention today, 15 minutes in, of actually talking about another little trick, which is trusting the process, which will forever remind me of my friends Helen and Nick up in Sydney. But yeah, trusting the process is really important. And another one of those things where you can just go, you are exactly where you need to be, and you're experiencing exactly what you need to experience for your soul's growth. There's more to this than this one lifetime. It's whatever you're living now is affected from past lives and the now. Whatever you're doing now is actually creating your future. So everything is for you. It's really important, you know, say, trying to think of an example. I mean, even just sort of leaving Singapore and coming back to Australia, I realise now that it was necessary to come back to actually heal something that had started way before we went, you know. Actually, you have to heal this, or you have to be aware of this. We can't let you live there in this sort of, I won't say false, because it wasn't. It was my reality. It was our reality, and it was fucking fabulous. But it's like, no, you actually have to deal with a deeper issue that is kind of somehow being masked by living over there, I'll say. I said to a client the other day, you know, I think we all choose to be an expat for a reason, because it is a really incredible experience. But it's one where when you do come back, there are challenges, and some of us, I won't say make it through, we all make it through. Some of us make dramatic changes as a result of that. But there's always a reason for going and then coming back. You know, it is big, and a lot of people will say that it takes years to sort of find your feet again after that experience. But yeah, trusting the process. There was nothing we could do to stay there. You know, Jules lost his EP. I lost my LOC. There's lots of bloody things in Singapore. But in effect, I was a dependent of his. So when he lost his employment pass, I lost mine. So without one, I couldn't continue with TempleSoul as a business. So, you know, you forget when you're in a foreign land, it's not your country, that you're at the mercy of them. So there was nothing we could do, you know, and it was heartbreaking, and that we had to come home because we were having such a great time. But it was necessary, because obviously there was actually something in the foundation that wasn't quite right. And I know that from a long time ago, but maybe I just didn't want to see it. Maybe I just didn't want to go there. It's too big, it's too hard, it's too whatever. It's easier just to sort of go with what's happening instead of creating this enormous change, which is big. But being in that mindset of it's all happening for you, not to you. It's so I can release something, you know. I can learn from that. And also trusting that, you know, if you feel like someone's really being nasty on purpose, or, you know, there's someone that's constantly pushing your buttons, or, you know, doing something, it's really important for you to realize that not to blame the person, because they're, that just went funny, sorry. But it's really important not to blame the person, but to actually see them as a guide, right? What are they teaching me? Even though they're being a complete asshole, what are they teaching me? There's a higher learning in it. Take the person away. Take the, it's not the person attacking you. It's source energy showing you something that you need to learn. So it's a gift. See it as a gift. Trust the process. Trust that there's a higher energy giving you this experience so that you may learn and that you may grow. And my God, I want this Kundalini to rise. So I'm going to deal with it and get rid of it because I don't want it there anymore. I want to see what that is. What is it? It could be, if someone's ignoring you, then it's, for me, maybe it's about self-worth. You're worth more than that. So do you put energy into that connection anymore, or just leave it? Because really it's all about that as well. It's what am I going to expend my energy on? My energy is really special and important to me, or to everyone it should be. And it's a real lesson in you becoming aware. Okay? So don't blame people if you perceive them as being nasty. It's an opportunity for you. You might need to completely detach. Enough's enough. I've had enough. I'm not playing games anymore. I'm worth more than that. I'm going to walk on. Like, it's that kind of thing. What lesson is in it for you? So it's really important to trust that process. Wherever you are and whatever you're experiencing is for your growth and your learning. There is a lesson in it. There's a lesson in it. What are you going to learn from it? Simple. Trust the process. Trust and faith. It's all going to work out, I promise. So in the next couple of days, we might talk about forgiveness and acceptance. As I said, I would talk about, but yeah, that's an important one. It's just, again, it kind of ties into it is what it is. But I wish you all the best. I hope that you're getting through it okay. There's lots of online yoga, there's lots of meditation, there's lots of, I'm here if you need me for energy healing. There's lots we can do to get through this together. So sending all my love wherever you are, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.